What brought me out here is my son ended up getting murdered by his father and his father's wife, which got me down here getting high.
My mother introduced me to alcohol, drugs, and everything when I was like 7.
He was starved to death and died of severe starvation and malnutrition. And my other son survived because he was saved by his brother.
I just got a shock trauma like 2 weeks ago. Guy asked me for directions, ended up pulling me into the truck, trying to rape me. I put up a fight, obviously. You can see I got stitches and I got staples in my forehead.
What do you think your purpose in life is?
To be a mom. It's like the one thing I'm really good at doing.
People go to jail, they go to rehab, and they get clean and shit, but then they're put right back in the same environment.
I've done some pretty off-the-wall to get drugs, not just tricking, but like taking motherfuckers off, robbing, stealing, boosting, catalytic converters.
All 3 of my brothers died. Like when I came to that hospital, there was nobody that I knew. Not a single soul came.
I'm Courtney. I'm 29. I'm from Hagerstown, Maryland, but living in Curtis Bay, Maryland. I've been out here for a year, roughly. What brought me out here is my son ended up getting murdered by his father and his father's wife, which got me down here getting high, basically just self-medicating. He was starved to death and died of severe starvation and malnutrition. And my other son survived because he was saved by his brother. And I have no contact with him, so basically basically just existing at this point. So I smoke crack and I do dope any which way you can do dope. I do about 6 pills of dope a day and smoke unlimited amounts of crack. I don't know. Before I started getting high, I have a degree in mortuary science with Community College. Did my internship at Baltimore Funeral Home, was the lead mortician, funeral director at Douglas Fire Funeral Home, certified in cremation and embalming, and I had like a little Betty Crocker life. Grew up in foster care, so you got a lot of shit handed to you, basically like here's free college and here's housing and shit, basically because nobody wants you to run makeup that would give you some free shit. So I took advantage of that, but when my son died, that was basically the only thing that kind of like gets numbed the pain, and I still really haven't dealt with or grieved over it or really came to terms with it. But my biological family's always gotten high, so when my kid's father, when I found out my son died, I came down here because I couldn't be in Hagerstown because it was just rough for me being in Hagerstown because it's such a small town. So, too many memories with my kids. So, came down here and basically my mom gets high, my sister gets high, my dad died. Actually, the same day my son died, same year and everything, from stage 4 liver cancer because basically got hep C from getting high and didn't take care of it, and it just got really bad, and my dad died basically like very quick. So I came down here and my sister and mom got high and stepdad, so I just started smoking weed and then started smoking coke, coke with weed. And then I started needing something to come down because the weed didn't really help me come down, and that anxiety from not having crack will drive you nuts, You start basically looking everywhere and anywhere, every crick and crevice for crack, and then it's just such an obsession, you just can't stop until you get crack, until you get another hit. And so I smoked back and did dope. I didn't really have a habit of dope. I wouldn't wake up ill, and I started waking up really sick, and I haven't been able to stop doing dope since because that withdrawal, it's unbelievably mind-boggling. You just you don't even want to get up to pee or nothing. If you could, you'd lay there and your piss and everything else would be if it really wasn't frowned upon by society. You really would, because you just have no energy, you just feel dead, basically. So it's my biggest fear of getting clean, so that's why I won't get clean. That and coming to terms with the shit I've done, because obviously, I've done some pretty off the wall shit to get drugs, not just tricking, but like taking motherfuckers off, you know, robbing, stealing, boosting, catalytic converters, stealing and selling government phones, the food pantry food, you know. There's some really extreme deep lengths to get high, so that's every day for me, basically. So, not all of them together in one day, that'd be really fucking eventful day, but, you know. I live at my mom and dad's house, but, you know, I don't like being there because you go in the house, the house is full of people, and if you're an addict, you know, everybody will come, can I get a hit, can I get a bump? Sometimes you don't even make it out of your date's car and they're already run up to a car accident. So, and I'm not crack of America, so I don't have it to support everybody. So basically, you know, sometimes I'll dip off to like little spots like this and just get high, and then a day's like the same thing. You get up, make money, get high, then make more money, get high, until basically, like, I've been up so many days to start like geeking the out and just, you know, crashing. Just need some closure with what happened to my son, because when he died I kind of just like dropped off the earth, you know, didn't show up at his funeral, nothing, because it's just, you know, as a mother, a parent period, you know, something like that, that's like a pain you can't really describe unless you went through. You know, he was 6, so there's his whole life just like basically thrown away, but not really, because I really wholeheartedly believe his purpose in life was to save his brother, because if it wasn't for him, his brothers used to be dead. So I think he served his purpose, but in my mind, you know, a little angry at God, because it's like, why didn't you like save him, step in? It's like you save all these other people. There's only 6, and starvation is the most painful way to die, and my son died of starvation, so it's really the things. So honestly, if I got some closure, really came to terms or got answers, which I probably won't ever get answers for it, but and he didn't really get justice. They gave the dad 10 years and the wife 5 years supervised probation, and he killed my son. So it's kind of like, where the was the justice there for him? So I don't know where my bottom would be, because I feel like that should have been my bottom. Well, sorry getting high because of that, but I feel like at some point I should want to stop my other son. But I don't know. I don't know how you deal with something like that. How you go on every day without getting high, you know?
What do you think your purpose in life is?
To be a mom. It's like the one thing I'm really good at doing, and like nobody can up, you know, parent, you know, everybody parents different, everybody's perfect, but like, I don't know, I grew up in foster care, so I know how it is in group homes, treatment centers, and ran foster homes, and like had that like overwhelming feeling of just not being wanted, you know. So when I had my kids, it's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of felt like complete like whole when I had my kids, and I really just wanted them to have like a perfect life and not go through that type of shit. But unfortunately, I'm going to do the same shit I went. But I'm doing the same thing my mom and dad did to me, and put my kids through it, which is unfair, and I realize it. But you know, every day I try to do something to better my situation, regardless if it's just calling a place, even if I don't go, just thinking about getting clean one step closer to getting clean, because there's people who don't even think about doing it. Kind of just accepted that this is going to be their life, but I won't accept that this is going to be my life. I think this is just a phase right now, so I figure out how to get over this hump. I feel like if I die, I get to be with my other son, and if I live, I get to be with that son. It's kind of like almost in a f***ed up way, a win-win situation for me. I've gotten in some pretty sketchy motherfuckers' cars, been left in places, robbed, raped, beat up. Been at the wrong place at the wrong time, getting in some shit, no fault of my own, but because of other motherfucking stupid ass shit, not being careful. So, definitely have, but I mean, I feel like I'm not done with my purpose in this world, and maybe that's God telling me like I need to, just trying to like warn me like you need to go get your shit together and get your son, because if that wasn't my purpose, I feel like I would have been dead like a while ago. Probably like the first week of me doing this shit.
Any time at all?
No, I started getting high when my son died, so no. I'm more afraid to like face that fear is gone, and I'll never see him again. When I wake up, I usually just get ready for a day, makeup, try to look presentable, come out, try to catch a date or find some type of way to put money in my pocket or drugs. and then just basically sit around and get high. Usually by myself, but because I journal a lot, so I'll journal and color and by myself, get high, and go out, try to find a way to make more money, and then come right back to the spot, get a color, journal, and stay up for like 9, 10 days, and then crash really hard and sleep for like 4 days and get back up and do it all over again. I mean, I will make money until I can't make money anymore, until I'm like crawling to my bed type shit. But I mean, probably spend at least like $35, $40 on dope. But if I had to estimate, probably $400 a day. I write letters to my son, Pharaoh. It's just one of the little ways I have to cope, to like talk to him, because I have a lot of guilt and a lot of guilt about what I'm doing now, because I know he'd be very upset.
My name's Riley. I'm originally from Anne Arundel County. I've been out here for like 6-7 years. I'm 38 years old. I got out here because just basically emotional torment within my marriage. I was married for 17 years, and emotionally I couldn't handle it, so I substituted that with drugs. I've been out here ever since, just using and grinding. It sucks out here. I don't know what more to say. It sucks out here. And even though somebody might want it to get clean, it's not something that can happen at a snap of a finger. People go to jail, they go to rehab, and they get clean and shit, but then they're put right back in the same environment. You know what I mean? But it's been a struggle. It's dangerous as shit out here. My story, I just got a shock trauma like 2 weeks ago. Guy asked me for directions, ended up pulling me into the truck, trying to rape me. I put up a fight, obviously. You can see I got stitches and I got staples in my forehead. I was on life support in a medical induced coma for 5 days, ventilator for 5 days. And it's crazy because when I first came to, all I wanted was a hit of that's all I wanted. Which is crazy, right? I mean, you're not supposed to want that after that, you know what I mean? But I immediately got released. I have a skull fracture, I'm supposed to have surgery. And on top of having I have mild memory loss, but they said it could be full term if I don't get the surgery done. And here I am smoking, you know what I mean? Like, this shit has a hold on you. I was clean for 17 years when I was married. And one little emotional fuck up and I turned right to hell. Never did heroin before. I was clean off everything else, I did everything else. But when that happened, I went straight to heroin and crack. I smoked crack before I got married and had kids. But I don't know. I just, at the time, I didn't want to live anymore, which is crazy because now I could give a fuck less what that man did. So it's crazy for something like that to have brought me here. And even though it's not holding me here, I'm still here. My mother introduced me to alcohol and everything when I was like 7. And yeah. She was, and then when I got a teenager, she was my main buyer. I was supplying it. I wasn't using it at the time. I was selling it. And when I got pregnant, I decided not to sell anymore. She got mad. And we ended up getting into a physical altercation. I ain't talked to my mother in over 15 years since that happened. My daughter's 21 years old now. My son, he just turned 18. I got a granddaughter, he's 3. They all still need me. But the lifestyle just has a hold on you. People think, oh, you just don't want it. You don't want to get clean. That ain't it. Some type of support system, I ain't got nobody. I ain't got nobody I know. I don't know, I talk to my mother, I don't have my father. All 3 of my brothers died. I got one left, he lives all in West Virginia. Like when I came to in that hospital, there was nobody that I knew. Not a single soul came. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was gonna get like this.
How does that make you feel?
Useless and worthless. You know what I mean? I'm an addict, I'm not no murderer, you know what I mean? Like, I just need help.
You feel low, like you're alone, man?
Oh, constantly. That's my biggest feeling is loneliness. I don't have nobody, and you can ask anybody out there about me, they're gonna say, we don't even know that girl, because I don't socialize with nobody. I'm very antisocial. First of all, I don't trust anybody. I come out, I cop in the bop, and I leave. You break that trust, or even if you earn trust, it'll get you killed. It don't matter. Trust goes both ways, you're gonna get killed. Like, even now in this end, like, I gotta watch what I say, you know what I mean? Like, and then honestly, we were both hesitant to do it, just because we weren't aware of what type of questions you were gonna ask and stuff like that. But, I mean, even, you know, I had a detective, and what had happened, the guy pistol with me. You know, he pistoled 6-7 times in the same spot on my skull. And I got detectives and everybody asking me, you know, who he is and everything. Hell no, you can't give out information like that. You gotta just, he got me, you know what I mean? This is the way how it is. You can't give no information. I'm sorry, I don't have a very long story. That's pretty much it. I just struggled.
Who was the first person to break your trust?
My mother. My mother. Definitely my mother. And it's crazy, like, I try to reach out every 10, 12 years to try and make amends, trying to see, because my grandmother said she don't want me to live with regret. What she said, she didn't want me to live with regret. Because in case she dies, you know what I mean, I wouldn't know if she changed or anything. And change is, to me, inevitable. Like, you're gonna change. So when you don't, it screams volume to me. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't change at all. You'd think after 12 years of not being in your daughter's life, you'd do anything and everything to stay in your daughter's life. And it was a complete saint. Exactly the same. And I can't have that around my kids, and you know what I mean? I can't have it around me. Like, it brings me the down. I live with regret. I have a lot of regrets. I regret even being out here talking to somebody that could even have the up on me to do this damage to me, you know what I mean? I regret fucking relapsing. I regret not being strong enough to deal with the shit that was thrown at me at the time. I regret every choice that I've ever made since I relapsed. Every choice. I forgive her, but I don't want nothing to do with her. If that makes sense. I don't want nothing to do with her. I feel like that would just bring me down for her. I had a clean life. I know what it looked like. Had a whole fence, white picket fence and everything, whole house, fucking fenced in back and front yards, 3 dogs, all my kids, my granddaughter, fucking cars, a job, money saved up in the bank. I had everything. I had everything you could ask for. That's ultimately what I would like to get to. Go back to school. You know, I was in the Army. I was in the Army. I was in the U.S. Army and shit. I was did 5 years, 2 tours. I'm a nurse, you know, like I have means to bring myself up out of it. It's just a matter of, I just need a push, you know what I mean? Or a pull, one of the two.
What message could you give the younger generation that might want to step up?
Stay away from this shit. Stay away from it. If you feel like you're gonna turn to something that you ain't never done before, watch this video. I know I'm not the only one on here. Nobody woke up one day and said, hey, I'm gonna smoke some crack. You know what I mean? Nobody woke up one day and said, hey, I'm gonna do some, you know, heroin or whatever. They just, it happens. But just be mindful of your thought process. Like, just be mindful of your thought process. Like, just don't, you're stronger than that shit. You know what I mean? You're a lot stronger than that.
You turn into someone that you don't recognize?
Oh, hell yeah. If I showed you pictures and videos of who I used to be, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. You wouldn't even recognize me.
One last message for the world that's watching you big.
Keep your head up. Don't stop trying. Like, just don't stop trying. If you really want it, I know you can get it because I had it. You know? But just think positive. Like, my problem was I always thought negative. Everything negative that happened to me, I never thought of a positive outcome. I just always thought or remembered the negative shit that happened to me. Like, just trying to stay positive. Know that you're better than this.
Trying to learn how to forgive my kid's father and his wife because I know he's a sick person. That wasn't him, and no, he didn't get high or anything like that, but I think he just got sick somehow, some way, and I know my son Farrah wouldn't want his dad in there with nobody and nothing. So even if you were like, man, he killed your son, you shouldn't want nothing to do with him. I mean, like, that's not for me to judge. It's for God to judge. You know, you don't turn your back on family regardless. So, you know, trying to learn how to forgive him and do what Farrah would want me to do. And, yeah. Try to learn a better way than what everybody thinks. So you should get him killed, all that. If I got him killed, that would be like this. I'd be the same thing as he is, you know. It ain't my place or my purpose to take his life. You know, I understand it's sick and f***ed up, but I know my kid's father, and that wasn't him. I don't know why he snapped, but basically, like, you know, Bear loved his dad, and my son Zeus still asks about his dad, even after all that. So, but that's because I think deep down in their heart, they know, like, that wasn't their dad.
What does it seem like to watch for you?
Man, like a Betty Crocker-esque life with, like, just like the traditional, like, staying home with my kids and baking Christmas cookies and mud pies and acting like superheroes and dinosaurs with my kids and I don't know, just being productive, doing something to benefit my life but also my kids or somebody else's, you know. Message to myself. Just not to give up, you know, like sometimes you get so far down, like the only place you got is up to go, you know, so just try to make it a little step forward every day, because sooner or later I'm sore up, you know.
It says you're trying to forgive your son's father. Have you tried forgiving yourself?
No. I mean, I know me as a person, anything I've ever done to my kids or myself, it's not intentional harm or whatnot. I'm just lost right now, you know, so I don't regret anything I've done, because everything I've done literally made me Courtney, you know, like I wouldn't be this person or know how to deal with a lot of shit if it wasn't for me going through certain shit, you know, so I don't regret anything, you know, like one day I'll do something big, like I'm destined for greatness, like I'll do something big and be able to help other kids and shit, and that's only because of the shit I went through that I'll have the knowledge to do something like that. You only can understand if you've been through it, you know. Yeah, I have 4 boys. This is my second child I'm burying. My son Titus passed away 5 years ago after 15 hours of birth. So, and then I have a younger son who has a different father than all of them, and he has a wonderful ass dad that he lives in St. Mary's County with. And I'm gonna be more thankful for my kid's father, because he does everything right for my son and still lets my son know that he has a mom, and every day encourages me to get clean and come be a part of my son's life. He lets me go down there and visit with my son, even though I don't, but only because I don't want my son seeing me like this, because he's 4. So like, I really only seen him 6 times his whole life, and I don't want one of them times to be, you know, me high and something happened and traumatize him. So I try to stay away until I know I ain't gonna cause no damage to him. Message for my kids, probably just not to give up, you know, and to never turn their back on family, regardless how hard it is or what people do. You know, your family's your family, and you know, you always stick by their side, just, you know, regardless, even if it's at a distance, you know. Some people get sick and some people, you know, really get lost in the world, but that don't mean they don't love them still. They just can't love themselves to love them right now.